took some time, but we pointed out that tomorrow isn't here right now, baby. An absent mind came to roam around, captured you in a foggy cloud, baby. Standing on my toes on the edge, I'm ready to go. See it clear when the shadows are lit, I'm ready to go. Captured you in a foggy cloud, baby. Standing on my toes on the edge, I'm ready to go. See it clear when the shadows are lit, I'm ready to go.
Hey, guys, welcome to the Klein Attraction Challenge. It is day 4 and we are super pumped for day 4. We have Jason here and of course Joel is on board as well, which is very exciting. Day 4, we are going to be talking about how to crush tech overwhelm and serve more people. Now, when you serve more people in your business, of course, you're going to have more wins. But we want quality over quantity. And this is what Joel is going to be talking about today. So you must stay around to the end, guys, because this is going to be absolutely epic. I am forever learning in my business, and I'm really super keen to hear what Joel has to say today, because this is not my area of expertise. And I'm pretty pumped for day 4. How did you guys go yesterday? Who jumped on the live where I was talking about all things social media? I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to do some of the tasks that we set about. And of course, we'll be announcing a prize. That is a 15-minute social media audit free from myself. And we'll announce that at the end. So make sure you get asking your questions and we will choose one of you that is watching live for that prize. So how to crush tech overwhelm and serve more people with Joel, day 4. I'm going to hand it across to you, Joel.
All right, thank you. And you're putting the expectations quite high here, telling me these things. So let's hope I can live up to those expectations. I surely hope so. I had the benefit of listening to you guys for the first 3 days. So I mean, you put the bar pretty high. So I'll try to deliver on that and see how I can go about that.
No pressure, hey. Maybe Jason can work with your mindset on that.
Hopefully.
Anything's possible.
All right. Shall we dive in and take a look at this from the start,
let's
you guys?
do it. I'm keen on this one, hey. Day 4. Make sure you ask your questions in the section and if there's anything else, sing out. Sorry, Joel. Please.
No, sorry. I accidentally started to
He's
shuffle
really
things
excited to
back.
go. You have no idea how excited he is to get this thing going. He's just cutting people off left and right. He's like, yeah, come on. I got something to share. So we got to get this big show on the road. What are you waiting for?
I have this button I can press, and look at this. All of a sudden, it's just me. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to do this. Look at this. And then I'm going to put us down here. And I think that's much better. So we can actually see this and we can have everyone join in and see our lovely faces and actually look at this. So day 4, guys. We talked about mindset. We talked about how you actually lead, how you show up for people. We talked about how you do this in social media. Now we need to really tie this into something more, something extra, something where we can actually get in front of people. And we have to use technology for this. I mean, previously we used to go down to the local store somewhere and we told them we wanted to buy something and they had stuff and they sold it to us. Nowadays, we have to get out there, reach people all over the world, hopefully and possibly, and actually do stuff with that. So let's dive in and take a look. And I'm not going to go super technical here because that's not the goal with this at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you easy ways to actually set this up. And feel free to drop any questions in the chat and I'll be happy to answer those. So let's start and take a look. We've met already. I just want to point out that I'm a father of 7 kids. I mean, I still have some hair left and I have 7 kids. And I've been doing business stuff for, I realized just the other day, almost 20 years now. So it's pretty fun to have been in the game so long. But let's continue onwards. What we're going to cover today is literally your big thing. Why are you doing things? And how can you help people actually with that specific thing? We're also going to look at how easily you can actually set up a business online, and you can get that done in less than an hour. You can knock it out over an hour or even less than that if you know what you're doing. We're also going to talk about a great components to a funnel. And if you have no idea what a funnel is, we're going to talk about that as well. And also why a lot of coaches leave a lot of money on the table when we try to do things way too complicated. And that's why we're finishing this off with why KISS rules. And if you don't know what KISS is, keep it simple, stupid. That's what it is. That's what I tend to try to do every day because it's easy to get super advanced and just go crazy with it. So that's what we're going to talk about. And let's start here because this is important. Did you know that between 80 and 85% of all coaches, 83% to be exact, of coaches fail in their businesses within the first 3 years? This was the statistic that I saw that really started my process of thinking where we realized we need to do something. And what this comes from, a lot of the issues that coaches face is the tech side of this, because we tend to be really good at what we do and we tend to have a passion and drive for the actual stuff we cover, but we don't like the techie side because that's not who we are. And we're not necessarily marketers either. So it's hard. So when I saw this, I knew something needed to happen, because if we look at the other side of this, the coaching industry is incredibly fast growing. It grows by over $1 billion a year. And this is pre-pandemic. This is from data from 2019. So it's probably even faster right now in this digital era that came upon us. So in an industry that grows this much, do you think it would be possible for you to actually earn some money and make some money in that industry if it grows by $1 billion a year? I mean, how much of that pie do you actually need to get to your business to make a decent living from that? If you take that just 1 billion growth per year, it's not hard to see that this is possible. But we need to do something specific. We need to get in front of people and we need to show them the things we have. And before we can even get to that point, we need to understand the real thing, the thing people need help with. And we're going to talk now about how you can maximize your business online. Now, I know this might sound boring. It's not. It's super fun, and it's super, like, really something I love. So bear with me if you think tech boring. Bear with me. We're going to look at this. We're also going to talk about how you can easily get rid of a bunch of things you don't need and really get down to the core of it, what you actually need. And we're going to look at the three easy steps here that I've helped people so many times to implement in their businesses. That's what we're going to do. And it starts, my friend, it starts here. What is your big thing? This is where everything has to start. And we talked about this over the last couple of days, and you will see in the handouts for today, we're going to talk about that in a bit as well. It connects into everything we talked about so far. But if you can define your big thing, what is the big thing that you can help someone with that helps them with a specific problem? If you can figure that out, you can start to create something. Because these three steps are coming from the perspective of you putting something in front of someone, then giving them a first step solution to it so you can follow up with them. That is the three easy steps. So if you can define the easy and the big thing you can do, that is a great starting point. So if we start at that end, you don't have to solve someone's entire chain of problems. When you start out, if you can help someone with these lovely baby feet, if you can help them get that first baby step, if you can do the first thing, get them going one step forward, that is enough to actually start helping and serving people. And literally every day you wait to help someone, I used to put it this way. If you were a doctor and you lived in a house somewhere in a rural area, and one night it was pouring rain outside, there's a thunderstorm, someone knocks at your door, and it turns out they have someone with them who's broken their leg. Would you not help them because you felt, no, you weren't qualified enough to do that? You probably need another certification before you can actually help them. You wouldn't. You would help them. And it's exactly the same thing when we look at this from your business and the perspective right now. You would help people, and you should help people. You don't need anything else. You need to get going. You need to help people. And if you know your big thing, what you help people with, if it's health, if it's mindset, if it's business, whatever it is, if you know what your big thing is, if you can help them get one step ahead on that journey, that's enough. That's more than enough. So when you know that, what would be a good gift? How can you serve someone, and how can you help someone with that first step? What would be a good gift to give someone to get them going? Would that be to give them an ebook? Would that be to give them a checklist? Would that be to create a training, like we're on a training right now, to help them move one step forward? What would be a good gift to give them? That is the next thing I want you to think about. And how can you get that gift in front of people? If you're working with underwater basket weaving, the community might be small. There might be a tiny community of underwater basket weavers in the world. So it might be harder to get in front of the right people. But at least have this in account. And if you have questions about this, I refer you back to the day 0 training I did, where we talked about how to define the niche and understand that specifically. But if you can just put a simple solution together so you can actually start helping people, that is the first of the 3 steps here. Look at it. What can you give someone to help them today? Jumping to the next piece. If you can't reach them, you can't help them. So that's why we want to put this gift in front of people, give them that in exchange for an email address, a phone number, and their name, or just the email and a name, so we can reach them. Because if we can't reach them, we can't help them. I can't possibly help you just by sitting in my office with no cameras on, just me here alone talking. I can't help you. You need to see what I do, or you need to get that information somewhere. So if you can reach them, all of a sudden you can help others. So that's why we gathered that information. I'll show you how this looks in reality. And this ties into building your list, which is the second step here. Building up that list of people who know, like, and trust you. So you can actually send stuff to them, not just selling stuff, but helping them. Everything I talk about comes from the perspective of you trying to help others, not selling them on stuff. Selling people or having people buy your services, that's a result of you putting enough good stuff in front of them, because that gives them value. That builds up your credibility, your authority in the niche, and it helps them understand that you can actually help by doing the oldest trick in the book, showing people you can help them by actually helping them. So that's why we need to build this list. And you need an easy way to follow up with people. So if you have an email, all of a sudden you can email people. If you have an email and a phone number, you can text them. Hey, you can even call them. So if you can call people and talk to them, do you think you could help them even better if you were sitting down and talking to someone? You probably could. And make sure, this is a point that I cannot stress enough. Make sure that you own this list. Melissa touched on this yesterday, and I had several clients over the years that I talked to that got their entire list robbed from them. Because if you have only people on Facebook, you have no way of connecting to them any other way than just through Facebook. And Facebook changes something, so you can't access those people anymore. You don't have a list. So I strongly suggest make sure you have an email list to people and make sure you own that list. Super, super important. So easy to get robbed with this. So make sure you own it. Now, when you help people, make sure that they win. So whatever thing you create, whatever thing you put in front of people, make sure that that is designed to help them get an easy win. We're not looking to get something like crazy advanced. We're looking to get people to just take one step and make sure that is a significant step that actually helps them. I want to stress this because if people don't win, if people don't see success, if people don't see that something happens, it's so easy to get distracted and don't do anything. And that's just human beings. That's the way we are. So make sure it's incredibly valuable. It's in front of the right people at the right time. It's really important. So the final thing here, and this is where it all comes together, is we need to follow up with people. If you have an email list, if you can follow up with people, you can start adding value to their lives. You can start sending them information that helps them, that brings more value, that helps them get over the issues they have. We're not looking to solve everything again. We're looking to help them just move forward. And if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to get a list and I'm going to send a weekly newsletter out, let go of that thought like immediately. Don't do this because newsletters, no one really cares about them. You can send newsletters also, but if it's only newsletters every week or every other week or a monthly newsletter, chances are people are not going to see that. Just look at your inbox. It's a good example. Look at your inbox and see how many emails you have in that inbox that you haven't even opened. I looked at my inbox this morning. I have over 6,000 emails in that inbox that I haven't opened. That does not mean the people who send me those emails are uninteresting people that I don't want to talk about, I don't want to hear from. Most of those emails are probably from people I want to hear from and could probably have information that would benefit me. But I'm human. I can't process every single email. So if you send one email every other week, you're going to get swamped. Your email is going to be lost in that. So you have to have a better strategy to follow up with people. I'm not going to dig too deep into this, but I'm going to say is you need a better strategy than a weekly newsletter because no one's going to see that. It's super important as well. And make sure to offer people to book a call with you because when you can get on a call and talk to people, that's where you really can help them. Or if you're selling a service or if you're selling something outside of the coaching industry and inside of the rest of the world, make sure to get in front of them. Let's make sure to get the product or the service in front of people so they know what it is and can take action on it. Don't just add stuff at random, but make sure you have a plan with it. So how do we do this in real life? Let's start to look at this. And before we do, just recap this. Create a gift to someone that you can get out to people and make sure they have value from this gift. Get it to a place where they can pick it up in exchange for a name and an email and a phone number if you can, but at least an email. And then follow up with people. Super easy. Put something out there, make sure to get an email address and follow up. That's the 3 steps. That's all we have to do. And we do this over and over again, over and over again with enough people. You're going to build that list up and you're going to get something that is super, super valuable to you. You're going to start to be part of their ecosystem and you're going to be part of their ecosystem as well. So you're going to start building that relationship up. And that's exactly what we're looking to do. So let's go into this in a bit more detail and look at what we're talking about here, because what we're talking about is funneling people to your business. And you might have heard this before. We talk about funnels. The industry talks about funnels. That's something. It's just a term. It's just a marketing term. What a funnel is basically just a website. It's a page online where people can go. And let me know in the comments, how many of you have a website, a good old traditional website with an about page and with a contact me and with a services and all of this, like a real traditional website? Let me know in the chat how many of you actually have one of those. Because a old-fashioned website, like the ones we've heard we should have, they have a big issue. They're like a brochure. They don't really have any way for people to take action on it. Sure, they could go to the contact page and they could do stuff, but chances are they won't. Because if you go to an ice cream shop and you see you have 400 different ice creams, all of a sudden you don't know which one to pick, and you have to, all right, you think about that one or that one, and you get into that feel of overwhelm. So when you do this, a funnel is designed to do one specific thing. It's designed to have people take action. It's a page that makes sure people do what you want them to do. And most people won't do this. That's the reality of it. Marketing and sales in this way is a numbers game. We have to look at data and we have to look at the numbers. But a funnel instead of a website is what you should have in place so people can actually do something, get your gift, and you can get their information so you can follow up with them. So here's a good breakdown of how a funnel looks. And if this looks overwhelming, bear with me, it's not. It's actually quite straightforward. If we look at this starting point up here, we see traffic. And what is traffic? Traffic is basically someone online coming to visit a page somewhere. They can come from an ad, they can come from a post you did, they can come from someone sending them a link, they can come from literally anywhere online. That's traffic. They end up on a page. And the first page in a funnel is typically an opt-in page where people opt in to get the information. This is the page where you would have maybe a picture of the thing you're giving away and a form where people can leave their email and their name. That's all there is to this page. I'm going to show you an example of this in a bit here. That's all there is to this page. So when people go to this page, they type in their name, they type in their email, and they click, please send me this thing you put together for them. That's what they do. And when that happens, you send them automatically, obviously, we automate this. You send them an email with that thing. And simultaneously, what happens is when they click the button, you send them to the next page, which is a video, a virtual sales letter or a video sales letter of you breaking down this thing you just gave them, the ebook or the checklist or whatever this is. You break that down and you walk them through it so they understand what it is, how it works, and how that can help them. That's what we're selling them on here. That's all we do. And underneath this video on this page somewhere, we put your calendar. So people have a chance to book a call with you if they want more help. This do not have to be advanced. This video we're talking about could be between 3 and 15 minutes of you explaining the thing you just gave them. And when they book a call, obviously we want them to show up to have an enrollment call with you. And some people will sign up with you. Most people won't. And that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to continue to follow up with people and make sure we serve them and help them so they get the results they want in the end of this and eventually come back and book that call again. So everything here, you see a bunch of emails going out. The money people think are on the pages. People think that if I have a website or if I have all of these pages, that's how I make money online. And that's the biggest line I would say in internet marketing today. The money is not in the pages. The money is right here in the emails, in the follow-up sequences. Because when people go here and they opt in, they want this thing. They do one thing first. They behaviorally indicate that they're interested in whatever you have here. So when they click that, they tell you, they let you know just by filling out the form and sending that to you. They tell you that, hey, I'm interested in whatever the topic you have on this page. So that means they now are interested in whatever you do. That's the first part. But we're people, right? So something might have happened here. The dog barked, someone came to the door, the wife called, something happened. So they might not have watched the video here. So let's send them a couple of emails to remind them to go watch the video. And once they watch the video, most people, again, won't book the call with you, even though they know or you know you can help them. They won't book the call because they're human. It doesn't mean they ignore you. It doesn't mean they hate you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this. It just means they're human. So let's send a couple of emails to remind them to go book that call. And once they book the call, obviously, let's send them some reminders to actually remember to show up to the call so we can have a conversation. And again, some people enroll, and that takes them into the next step, which is you actually serving them and working together with them. Most people won't. Because if most people always did what we wanted them to do, it would be bloody amazing, right? It would be crazy. But the reality is most people won't. If 20% of the people who show up to this page actually fill it out and say, I want this thing, that's a good number. 30% even better. But don't expect this to be like every single person go here. It won't be. And that's fine. And a lot of people won't even finish watching this video, which is also fine. We need to look at the data, and it needs to be data driven. We need to look at it and see if we have 100 people showing up here, we have 20 people coming here, we have 5 people coming here, we have 3 people coming here, we have 1 signing up. Awesome. We have a flow of people coming in, and we can look at then optimizing certain aspects of this. Again, not going to dive into that. We can be crazy advanced here. But this setup, as you see here, we call this the dandy. This is a basic setup that I recommend every single business owner online have this setup. If you're selling a service, you need to have one of these in place. And the beauty with this is you can easily just clone this and create, if you had a, let's say you have an ebook in this specific one, and then you create a checklist for people. You can just clone this. You have the entire setup done, change some wordings in the text, and you have another funnel and another funnel and another funnel. So it's really easy to duplicate and make more of these. But the follow-up is really where the money is. So let's look at this and give you a solid example of this. This is one of our opt-in pages. There's nothing more. This is the entire page. What you see on screen now is the entire page. So imagine the amount of copy you have to write. It's not much, but there's a few things here. We have a strong headline to it. Obviously, on the website, we don't have the little label up here. It says opt-in page because that would be weird. But we have a strong headline. And we use bullet points because this drives the point home to people. It's easy to understand. It's easy to see what it is. And it's easy to understand if this is for me. And if it's not for you, I want you to not be on this page. I want you to go do something else, right? But if it is for you, I want you to click this little button down here and actually get the guide. So this is the opt-in page. And when they click here and they come to the next page, they come to the VSL, the video sales page, where I have a video of myself and basically almost the same text here. It's actually exactly the same text where I talk about how what we do helps people. That's what I talk about here. And it's a video. And right down below, I have a walkthrough how that works. And I have my calendar. It does not have to be more complicated than this. It can be super easy to set up. And this is really all you need when you start out. It doesn't have to be more complicated. It doesn't have to be more advanced. Look at this. It's 2 white pages with a picture of the guide we're giving away, a couple of bullet points, two or maybe 3 headlines here. That's all there is to it. And what I've tested over the years, this kind of has the highest and best conversion rate in relationship to the amount of work I have to put in to create it. So this is a great way of doing it. And again, the video page doesn't have to be advanced. It's all there is to it. If you had a way to actually set this up, do you think you can knock this out in an hour? I know you can, 100%. What probably takes the most time is this video because people, me as well, tend to be a bit nervous when it comes to doing videos, and it can take a take or two to get that video done. Don't worry about it. Really, don't worry about it. Nowadays, I typically go one recording and that's it. If I stutter, that's fine. I'm human. If it's not perfect, it's fine. I'm human. That's even better, actually. So this is what I recommend creating to beat that tech overwhelm. You don't have to go crazy with this. You don't have to put together a lot of stuff. You don't have to put together like literally everything in the world. You don't have to listen to the gurus and have chatbots and have this and have that and all of these crazy things. You don't need to have that. They work super well. But when we're starting out, when in the beginning of this journey, let's focus on getting stuff done instead of being fancy. Because done is actually what wins the day. Fancy is what's going to get you away from being done and just trying to perfect it. Let's get stuff done. Let's get it up. Let's get it rolling. I would say that is the most important aspect of this. Don't try to be perfect. So we talked about this, the difference between a funnel and a website. I just want to make sure we understand this completely. A website, a good old-fashioned website with a contact me, about us, services, all of these things we real. It's a brochure. It's a digital brochure that you can take up. You can pick it up like this. You can browse it. You can look at it. You can see if this is for me, and then you can put it aside and don't do anything with it. A funnel, on the other hand, that is someone walking up to you in the store saying, hey, how can I help you? Do you need any assistance today? How can I help you today? That's the difference. A funnel is to the point and it's actionable. So that's why I say get one of those instead of getting a website if you don't have an online presence yet. Of course, you can get a website later on, But keep it easy again. Don't overdo this. So to summarize, funnels are designed to encourage people to take action. The dandy that we looked at, the setup I just showed you, it's a great starter funnel for coaches. And it's a great starting funnel for everyone who sells something that needs you to have a conversation with someone else. It can work super well for someone who's actually looking to sell a product as well. We just have to tweak it a little bit. Using bullet points when you set up your online presence is super, super effective because it lets people see directly what it is about and how it could work for them. And once you have this set up, you can super easy just copy paste, clone the funnel, just change a few things, and you have another one, and another one, and another one. It's like owning a house. You're never going to be done. You're always going to create more and more and more and more and more, and you're going to test it. It's just the way it works. So once you have a good setup, once you have that done, you can clone it and create more and more things. So that's where we are in terms of that. Any questions at this point? Anything that is unclear? Obviously, a lot of things probably is unclear, but any questions I can help you with, drop them in the chat. And if you're watching the replay tomorrow, drop them in the chat. I'll come back to you and I'll answer all the questions that show up. If not, I want to pull this up instead, because earlier today, you got the workbook. And let's do this so it's actually a little bigger. You got the workbook, today's handout in via email. And if you haven't gotten the email, if you can't find it, you let me know in the comments. We'll drop it in, make sure you get it. But today you have this one. And I'm going to show you a couple of things because I think this is important. If you attended the day 0 training, you will recognize this first part. We talked about the vision and we talked about the action plan. If you don't know what this is, go back and revisit day 0 and do this because it's going to help you a lot. But we talked about the opt-in gift. If we're going to create an opt-in gift, we need to know who your client is, who you're serving. So this workbook ties together a couple of the things that Jason talked about, a couple of the things Melissa talked about, and it ties together the rest of the things that I talked about today. Who is your client? Define this. Here are a couple of questions you should be asking yourself to understand who your client is. And it also contains, so you can write out the demographics. Make sure you name your client. Give the client a name or the person a name, a gender. Who are they? Where do they live? How many kids do they have? The sociographics. Where do they hang out? What do they do? Where do they spend time? And it also allows you to use this wonderful little diagram, which talks about the needs and frustrations, the goals and ambitions, the fears and dreams of your clients. And when you understand these things, you can put it together and you can define something I call your currency. And your currency is basically the thing you help someone solve. And let's see if we can't look at this a bit deeper. I'm going to give you this from a perspective of someone who is working with health and fitness. So let's say you work as a fitness coach and you're looking to help people improve their fitness by helping them run faster. One thing here that you can increase then is probably the amount of fat burn they have. So let's write down increased fat burn. And the result would be they probably could see a result in the next 5 or 6 weeks. What you can increase as well is probably the feeling of being happy or the feeling of feeling stronger and more alive. And you probably see that within a couple of weeks. So write down everything that you can increase by helping someone solve a problem. And if we look at the decrease side of this, if we're working with the fitness coach again and we talk about running, you might be able to help people decrease the time they run 5 kilometers. And you might be able to do that in 6 weeks or less. You might be able to decrease the amount of belly fat. It might be that you can decrease the level of cholesterol in the blood because you help them eat more healthy. All of these things. But if you are targeting, like me, a fit guy in his 30s, I might be looking to improve my pace on a 5 kilometer run. So that might be the good currency to use. And the currency is basically how do we position the problem. But if you're targeting stay-at-home moms, they might be more interested, and I'm generalizing now, of course, they might be more interested in burning belly fat. So write down everything your problem or your solution increases and everything it can decrease and put it to a result and a time. So in like 6 weeks or 5 weeks or 2 years, and look at these ones and be specific. Make sure that it's a defined goal. Feeling happy it's subjective. It's not objective. You can't say that you reached the goal. Running 5 kilometers in 20 minutes, that's a clear goal. You can measure it. So make sure it's clear and you can measure it. The final thing here, when you're looking at your opt-in gift, we just created this for you to have some support with it. Decide what type of gift you want to give people, write down the name of it, and then start to create it. That's how I want you to use this. So guys, that is what I want to share with you today. It does not have to be crazy advanced to put together a tech backend of this. It does not have to be at all. You just have to know who you serve and then not go crazy with tools or ideas or things. Just put together a basic funnel like we looked at right here. You have that inside of your workbook. And if you have any questions, you reach out and I'll help you with it. And if you don't know that, I have a software platform that helps you do this specifically. So if you need help with that, obviously you can talk to me about that also. But the main thing, make sure to get something done. All right. I'm going to put Jason and Melissa back on because that was all I wanted to talk to you about today in terms of the actual presentation.
Yes,
so guys,
that was awesome.
Is everyone asleep, you think? Going into the technical side of things might be more heavy for people, but it's so important. I just think we need to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, I think everyone might be a little bit asleep today, but I think if everyone can get back on, and I've taken a few screenshots to the most important messages, but definitely this is something, if you don't have the mindset to market your business, to put them somewhere, you might as well just stop doing what you're doing because you're not collecting anyone. So very important topic.
And you have to have somewhere to send people. And I mean, when you do all these things Melissa talked about yesterday, and you want to send people somewhere, you have to have a website and a funnel to send them to. You can't just say, hey, here's stuff, I'll fax it to you or whatever. You need to send them somewhere. And if you don't have anywhere to send them, you need the tech side. That's how you can leverage this. That's how you can reach 6 billion people.
Absolutely.
You need to leverage it.
I see that so much because I have clients, not always, but sometimes I'll say, okay, I want to run a Facebook ad. I say, okay, what's your purpose for running the ad? Oh, just to get, I said, okay, like, where are you sending people? Show me. Oh, no, I don't have a website. And their Facebook page has got like 2 posts on them. I'm like, you're wasting your money.
Yeah.
You got to collect people. Like, you've got to put them somewhere, and you've got to, oh, sorry. It's an alarm went off. I didn't know that I had on. But it's you've got to put people somewhere, and that's why this everything that we're doing is such an integral part from the start to the finish. Yeah. Everything that we're doing is key.
And I mean, it might not be sexy to talk about the tech stuff. It might not be the thing that everyone dreamed about when they said, I'm going to start my business. Some people obviously have the idea that they're going to work with the tech side of it. But it is so important. We can't leave it out. We just can't leave it out. And what I see is people getting so overwhelmed and so stressed with this that they don't really do anything. And when people don't do anything, we freeze and we don't do anything. Typically, we can find maybe the 5, 6, 10 next clients or customers in the area around us.
Yes.
But after that, we need to have a bigger way to get people in, and we need the tech. We need to leverage that. And as I said, we can go crazy. I know, Melissa, you're working on chatbots now, which was a bad example, obviously, to trash talk what you're doing. But that is a great way to do this. But if we feel overwhelmed, if we don't know what to do, we just get stressed from that, and we can't really put it together. We can't really do anything with it.
And it's a really good point, Joel, because yes, I offer chatbots and that sort of thing, but that's not just the answer. It's like, so many people. I've had a client say to me too before, why aren't you doing funnels? Why aren't you doing funnels for me? This was a while back, and this is not a client anymore, so I don't mind talking about it. I was like, what do you want done with the funnel? You don't have a CRM. You don't have a lead magnet.
Yeah.
And the company that you're promoting, and I won't say what it is in case, they see this, but the company that you're promoting is a hands-on business. Like, what are you doing? You're not giving away a challenge. Like, we're talking, projects that are $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Like, we're not talking why do you need a funnel? Do you understand what a funnel is? Everyone says, I need a funnel. Okay, maybe you do, but what is the purpose behind that? What is the purpose behind your chatbot? What?
Yeah.
Because everyone's getting a funnel, you just need to go and get a funnel. Well, no, use it properly. And that's the other thing. If people don't use this stuff properly, they're going to think, well, this is all a waste of money. And that's why we put this together, was
Yeah.
to show that you don't need to go here, here, and here. If you understand the reason behind what you're doing, you've just got one place to go. That's here.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why it's so important to make sure that you know what your vision is, that you have
Yes.
the end in mind before
Yeah.
you even start. You
Yep.
have a crystal clear idea of what you want to achieve. And the thing that you want to achieve has to be the thing that your clients want, especially as a service-based business. Your only goal is to help your clients. If your goal is to make money as a coach, if your goal is, I want to be a millionaire as a coach, that's not a goal.
No.
That's not a goal that's going to serve you anyway, because
Bonus.
there's no making money the object of your desire is unwise, because money is nothing more than a result. So if you want your result to be the result, what is you looking for? There has to be something that gets you the result.
Yeah.
A good example, like what Joel had said, if you are a fitness coach helping someone decrease the time that they run the 5K so that they can come in first place in their triathlon,
Yeah.
that's a good goal. That
Yeah.
is a very specific goal that someone is going to want to go towards, and people will want to pay you for that because they want to come first in the triathlon.
Exactly.
So knowing what your audience needs and knowing how you can provide that and the unique spin that you
Yes.
have to get them that
Yes.
solution, because the solution is basically just someone saying, this is what I want. So why are they going to be going to you rather than someone else? Why are they going to pay attention to you? How are you going to capture their attention in a way that no one else does?
Yeah.
And make that your goal. Make that the purpose for what you are doing. And that is what's going to get people to pay attention to you. And if you craft it right and you go deep
keep
enough,
their
like we talked about in
attention.
messaging, if you go deep enough where you're actually able to tell their story and make them feel like this is creepy, he's actually speaking about me. Now they have no choice but to pay attention to you. It's irresistible at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is the absolute key to it. There's so many components to the wheel, but once you understand it all, it just fits like a glove from start to finish in your business, and you can achieve so much. And very great. I love that topic today, Joel. So much value. And if you guys got value from this and you're watching it, make sure you drop that whatever group you're in and let us know where you're watching from. And of course, if you are part of our VIP club where all the cool kids are, and if you're not, we'll let you in if you're a cool kid. So you've just got to ask us about that. We'll see you after this call as well. So and we can keep the discussion going.
All right. Thank you guys for today's session, and make sure to don't sweat this. Don't overthink this. Keep it super easy. Make sure to get in front of people and help others. That's the key. Just do that. Make sure that works, and we'll take it from there.
I love
All
it.
right.
Thank you so much. Such great value. Awesome.
It's been great.
Have a great day.
Yes, make sure you come back tomorrow, guys. We've got our last day tomorrow. You do not want to miss it.
No, we
We'll
don't.
announce
No,
the
we
group.
don't. We have 2 more days.
We do.
We have 2 days left.
2 minutes.
Oh,
2 more days.
sorry. Yes, sorry. As part of the challenge, yes, the 6 days, guys. I'm in Australia. I'm in the future. So I've already done an extra day's work. So, you know.
And maybe we should mention tomorrow's topic is enrollment calls. That sometimes sweaty and tough situation where you're actually in front of someone looking to have them purchase your service or your stuff. And that can sometimes be quite daunting. So let's break that down into easy pieces so you can actually make sure to convert people in a much better way without being sleazy or salesy. That's what we're going to do tomorrow.
Because I'm in the future, I've already seen this session, so it's great, and you need to turn up.
This can also be one of the most difficult things for people to overcome or to approach because of that fear of rejection.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're going to be going into that as well, Joel. So I'm not going to give too much away right now, but we'll talk about that more when we get there.
But I'll promise you'll get a solid framework that actually works super, super well from a completely different perspective that you've probably never seen before. And make sure to join us for that call, because I think that's going to be super important.
Yeah.
Because by the end of the day, if you did everything, if you had everything correct, the messaging, the offer, everything is correct, everything is done well, you have a funnel, you have the sort, everything is right, and you botch it and you mess it up on the actual conversation,
Excuse me.
it's not going to make you any money. It's not going to serve anyone. So that's why the entire thing, we have to look at it holistic and do all the pieces. That's what it is. So guys, I'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
Make sure I have my lip balm on. I'll see you guys then.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.